And I am so excited to have this guest on because not only is she just a total rock star, but she was on our committee for 50 Shades of Pink. And when I tell you someone who gives it her all her heart on every host committee she serves on, gives back to the community, has an amazing business story. I am so proud to welcome our guest today, Charlie Legrand, who is the CEO and founder of Truth, Lies, and Investigations. And boy, are we going to get this. Welcome to Spotlight TV.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you for having me.
I'm so grateful to you because you are someone who, in addition to running your business of many years, you give back and you do so much. And you're not just a passerby committee member. I mean, you are someone who is there for you really roll up your sleeves and get in and give. And it touches my heart because when I see women like you that, just you walk the talk and talk the walk, and you have to be really proud of yourself.
Well, thank you. Well, I've learned a lot from you over this past year, for sure, about the giving back and what that looks like in the process. So it's exciting to be a part of. It was amazing to be a part of the event committee for 50 Shades of Pink, and I really learned a lot from you and everybody else on the committee.
Thank you.
So I was grateful for that.
And we have another one coming up. We'll talk later on the show because there's another event that you're working on. But that's as much as I'm going to speak. Really, the rest of it is on you because we want to hear. The spotlight is on you. Want to hear your story, how you started, how did it come to be, and it's such a curious topic when people hear about that. Your company name.
Is it a truth or a lie?
It's like tuning into good Netflix.
Yes.
It's like, tell me more.
Yes.
So go ahead, take it away.
Thank you. Well, Truth and Lies Investigations, it's a full-service investigative firm. I like to say we're a boutique firm with a global reach because we do have investigators and process servers in pretty much every part of the globe. But I was born in Boston, but I grew up in Miami. And I was a singer. My first life, I was a professional singer because my father was a world-renowned jazz singer, and I wanted to be him. So very early on, I think it was probably 18 years old, I just graduated from high school. I didn't go to college. I was going to be a rock star. So I was singing 6 nights a week, wherever it was, Fontainebleau, Vegas, New York City, and traveling the world and on stage. And I had 2 young boys and went through a divorce, and had to come up with something that allowed me to be home with my children. I couldn't be out, bouncing around stage till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning anymore. I had 2 young boys. So when I first started my company, there was no business plan. I went from I'm singing on stage and I need to be home. What can I do? But my main thought was I wanted to create freedom to make my own schedule, freedom to take my kids to school, freedom to take them to basketball practice. I knew that I wasn't like a 9-to-5 behind the desk. I knew that very early on. So that was the main concern was what can I do that's going to create freedom to be present for my boys. So I was always really great at investigations, like Charlie's Angels in my day, which was like a zillion years ago. But and being that my name is Charlie, it works. And I was always I would say I was an investigator before I got the title because I was always 5 steps ahead of everyone. I was always connecting dots. You can't watch a movie with me. Within 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, he's going to do this, and then she's going to do that, and this is going to. Thank you, Charlie. Thanks for just ruining that for us. So I was always. That was my character. That was my personality. So I thought, let me get licensed. I worked for one company for 1 year, and it was all men. It was like 67 men. I was the only female, and I was really good. I got into situations that they couldn't get in. Being a woman, I was less detected 20 years ago when I started. I got into rooms that the men couldn't get into. So it was really an advantage, being a woman. So the 1 year that I worked for someone else, I said, I'm gonna open my own company in Miami and I'm gonna hire all females. And that's what I did. I got licensed. I hired
a show like this.
Yeah, Charlie's Angels. No, but I started from the ground. I hired a couple of females, and basically no business plan. Like I said, it was more of like, I'm a single mom. What am I going to do? That was my business plan. And I knocked on a couple attorneys' doors, said, send me some cases. I think I could support you. And that's where I started. And luckily in the beginning, I did a couple high profile divorce cases, like a professional athlete or professional model, and was introduced to some high profile family attorneys. And, they tell their friends and they tell their friends. And fast forward, here we are, female owned, operated, celebrating 20 years this year.
Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations.
It's so like,
20 years.
I didn't realize it was 20 years, but like on LinkedIn, you get like notifications, happy anniversary. I'm like, what anniversary? I'm like, 20 years? What happened?
What do you attribute the growth to?
Well, I think my product. I think I deliver a really great product. And I built my company on integrity, and every case, like, I'm involved in it, and I'm relentless, and my team is relentless. So when we hand you back the results of whatever the case that we're working, like, I take pride in that, and I make sure that it's exactly the best that we can do. And, we're not always maybe handing people what they want or what they expected. And there's mistakes also, but I'm the first one to say, you know what, there's a better way to do this. Let's do it this way. And I think my clients know that I'm getting a straight shooter with Charlie and her team. I know I'm going to get the best, and nothing less. And I think that integrity and reputation has carried me through, for sure.
Let's talk about each of those areas: truths, lies, and investigations.
Yeah.
What are some examples of what that entails on the case side? So, I don't want to assume anything here.
Yeah. Well, we handle also all different types of areas. So we do a lot of family law, which is divorce and child custody and relocation and cohabitation and all those types of family law cases. And then we also do some criminal, which is a whole different type of investigation. We do investigations for personal injuries, slip and falls, car accidents. That's a different type of investigation. We do investigations for probate attorneys. If someone passes away, we're running heir searches to see if there's living heirs, to see if there's assets to be distributed. So there's so many different, and we do backgrounds for networks and TV stations and dating shows and things like that to check their backgrounds, to make sure someone's not married, even though they're on a dating show. You'd be surprised. You do a background and, oh, no, they're married. Go pull them from the stage. They're married. And that happens. So it's all different types of investigations and background searches that we do. So depending on the case, closest to my heart is probably family law, because it's families. It's children, it's relationships that are broken, and you're investigating. It's scary. It's scary when they call us for them. It's this unknown. What's going to happen? What's going to happen with my marriage? What's going to happen with my life? What's going to happen with my children? What's going to happen with my finances? There's so much that goes involved with a divorce or child custody, and they're calling us at their worst. Broken, sad, scary, male or female. We get just as many men that call us that women do.
Is your clientele more male or female?
It's really, I want to say it's really even.
Wow.
It's really even. I think also in a family law space, whether you're a male or a female, you would like to speak to a woman. You know, even if you're a man going through this, I feel like there's something different about, you know, sharing their story with a woman, you know, rather than a male PI or et cetera, or even a male attorney. I think that, you know, in those situations, I think that females really have a strength with that, with empathy and that sort of thing. So family law is closest to my heart, and they call, and I'm always reassure them, listen, everything is upside down right now, but we're going to get you some answers. I'm going to get you from this side of the mountain to the other side, and you're going to be okay. And they end up being okay, you know. Criminal case is different. Sometimes we're going into a jail and getting witness statements. Probate cases, we're finding out if there's heirs. Sometimes we're delivering information to a family that they had no idea there was a sister in Oklahoma.
Wow.
You know, or a brother, or, you know, any sort of thing like that.
Typical day.
It's not. It's funny because I say it's kind of what makes it exciting, because it's not this mundane, we're just running a background. It's literally like 10 things flying at the air, you know, in the air at any given time, you know, which is exciting. There is a misconception, though, that I always want to clear up. People think like PIs, like we're out here like ruining people's lives. You know, when people meet me, they're like, oh gosh, are you following me? Are you doing it back? You know, right away as a joke, like, you know, as soon as I say, oh, I'm a PI, oh boy, you know, they get nervous. But we're not ruining anyone's life. We're out, you know, we're gaining information, we're documenting information, and we're actually delivering clarity and the truth to whoever's hiring us. And I feel like the truth is the most important thing. You know, people are trying to make life decisions, family decisions, financial decisions, business decisions, and clarity and the truth is what allows someone to do that. So I always say we're truth fairies. We're not the judge. We're not the jury. We're literally handing you, and it may not even be what you wanted to know. Mm-hmm. But you can at least make a clear decision with the information we're giving you.
What are some of the common mistakes that business owners make that you find, wow, you know, I've seen this before. Yeah. You know, it's like that, you know, repeated mistake that ends up, I mean, you know, obviously marriage and divorce could, you know, there's two sides to every story, but on the business side, what are some of the things some of the advice that you would give? Because I know just being on chats with you and everything, you have said sometimes tips and techniques or things that I haven't even thought of.
Right.
So what would those be for someone who's listening out there and has a business site? You know, that you it's your legacy. You want to protect it.
Sure.
What's the best advice?
I always say, and it's really across the board, the mistakes that people make is they wait. They wait to call us. They wait. And I feel like if they bring in a PI early on, whether that is a divorce or a child custody, or they're thinking about divorce, or they're curious what that even looks like, right? Or a business decision, they want to go into a partnership with someone, call us first, you know, know who you're getting into a partnership with. Today, I feel like everyone needs a PI for anything. You know, you have someone that's cutting your grass, a landscaping company, a nanny. You want to know who your teenager is hanging around with, or so I feel like today having a PI in your back pocket is it's not a luxury; it's a necessity. Mm-hmm. But I would say my advice is people tend to wait. And something's nudging them. I should maybe get this checked out. And then they don't. And then by the time they call us, there's still things we can do. But mm-hmm. if you get that information early on, it can help you down the road with whatever's happening, mm-hmm. whatever mistake, because it just snowballs and just gets worse. Whereas if you come to us, you know, we can at least provide the right information. If you have friends of mine that are thinking about divorce, talk to someone. Pick my brain, talk to 3 attorneys, get all the information on your side. Then it's less scary. when you have the information, then you're like, okay, I kind of know what I need to do. Maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I want to go this route. Maybe I'll wait. But at least with the information, same with businesses. At least if you have the information on your side, you can make better choices. So I would say, don't wait.
Don't wait is the
Don't
best,
wait. Yeah, that's the
best advice. How has AI changed your business? Because, I know sometimes people trying to decipher and hearing about certain things, that's the first thing that people say. Well, wait a minute. That's not. I look at some of the celebrities that have gone through things, and the first thing they'll say is, I'm thinking of that Frankie Taylor Paul case, or you just hear so many things, and you wonder what's real and what's not, and how do you handle that in today's day and age?
It's scary. It's definitely snowballed. We talk about technology quite a bit because when we started 20 years ago, we didn't even have smartphones. So to work a case, I was just talking to my mom about this. We would have to go to mapquest.com, which the young people don't even know what that is today, right? And print it out. So you had to have a printer, right? And like you were trying to find the address based on your MapQuest. You had these massive cameras. You didn't have a smartphone that had 10, 20 different apps on it that could assist you. So technology definitely has helped, but you still have to know what to do with it, right? AI's definitely helped. As far as I say, it saves so much time. I also use Reagan's slogan, like trust but verify. There's a lot of information on AI. We use it a lot in our business just to save time. To organize different things and really to save time. It's not the all in all. It's not the Bible. It's not written in stone, but it's just a tool, right? And so people should be using it just as a helpful tool and not putting their life's work into it. We have this discussion all the time because, I'm in the legal world and the attorneys are talking about it and people are trying to fight their cases on AI or come up with case law. And we're all like, no, you can't. It's just a tool to help you. It's nothing more than that. But it's an incredible tool and everyone should be using it because it saves a lot of time, like an incredible amount of time. Something that would take my office, as far as even a billing situation, something that would take my accounting person to put into our software, probably take them 2 hours. We created a system using AI that within 60 seconds, it's already updated the entire software and everyone's paid. So it's incredible for things like that, for sure. It's definitely, everybody should be leaning on it, but trust, but verify.
And what about technology, for example? That whole idea of restrain of pen and tongue, because once you put it in writing, whether it's text or WhatsApp, some people seem to think that WhatsApp, because they're encrypted messages, that they're lost in town. Everything is verifiable, and I mean it's amazing to me, how many people think, well, no, WhatsApp is private. I'm like, is there any such thing?
I'm really happy that you know that because yes, most people think that it's all private, and most people think that when you delete something, it's deleted.
It's gone.
But I'm here to tell you, it's not deleted. Yeah. There are a lot of apps out there and it's constantly changing and updating and there's new ones. And it's in our business, like it's changing nonstop, and it's just many great things coming out. There's these horrible things that are coming out with it. Right. So it's important to keep your phone protected, your emails protected, passwords, double authenticating your passwords, and know that when you delete something off of your phone, off of your email, it is not deleted.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that one more time. No,
and it's important to know.
What do you mean I deleted it? I'm like,
I had a situation of, someone used my phone and applied for a quick loan on my phone. The point was that because it was done on my phone, and and it was just one of these situations where literally I said, here, hold my phone. The last thing I ever expected, and I didn't know why the company was giving me such a problem. And finally they said the reason why we don't we're debating the dispute is because it was done
actually
from
on your
phone.
phone.
And I'm like,
Correct.
wait, and sure enough, I was
That's
able
so
to track
scary.
down the day and time. I go, can you tell me the date and time? And on the history, it was deleted, whatever. But sure enough, I knew on my calendar where I was on that date and time.
Right.
And I mean, but something like that is crazy. Is
Absolutely crazy.
they're like, well, we know exactly what time
Right.
what time the inquiry was made, what cell phone it was made from.
There's a
and
digital imprint
there's a digital
everywhere.
imprint everywhere
100%.
on everything.
Absolutely.
It works in your favor, and it works
Absolutely.
for those who are trying to get away with anything. That's how you
Absolutely.
get caught.
Yeah, it's scary. Protecting yourself. And I always say too, protecting yourself is like layers of protection. It's not just one thing. Like in your home, you want to have a camera outside. You want to have a mean dog sign on your gate. You want to have a doorbell. You want to have alarm system. You want to have a dog, maybe. You want to, I always tell my single lady friends, put a size 14 shoes at the doorstep of your door, so that someone's coming by, they're going to, oh, wow, there's definitely a man in the house, even if there isn't. Like, you need layers of security. One thing doesn't do it, and have a weapon, and have pepper spray, and have a knife over there. Like, layers of security is what's going to protect us. And same thing with your phone. Have a code, have a Face ID, have things double authenticated, have your apps protected. It's really layers, because then it's much harder to penetrate, for someone who has ill intentions.
Well, the thing that I would say, well, there are many things I would say about you, but that integrity, that compassion, that detail, that attention to detail. How would you describe? I'm all about leadership legacy. How would you like to be remembered as a leader? Like, if you weren't in the room, what would you love to someone to be saying about Charlie's? How would you love to be described?
Well, first of all, my motivation for everything has been my children. My boys. They're motivated me. They're the ones that gave me the grit to start a company and sustain it for 20 years. And to do it, I built my company on the basketball court. My kids were athletes. So they would be at basketball practice or a basketball tournament, and I would be, on my laptop or on my phone, like building my company. And it's funny because years later, my son said to me, and he wasn't that young. He was probably 10 or 12. And I said something, and he said, wait, what, you work? And I'm like, how do you think all this happens? Like, what do you mean? He's like, well, Mom, you make it look so effortless. It's because you're at basketball. And I'm like, making calls. And they were both my assistants, because I'd be in a car and having to answer emails, taking them to basketball. I'm like, okay, pull up this email, say this. Okay, spell check it. So my kids were both my assistants, for years, building my company. But definitely a relentless mom, a relentless business owner with integrity and grace. I am a God lover and a boy mom for sure. Those two things come before anything else.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, we met through our beautiful mutual friend, Janet Lorenzo Garcia.
Yes.
And she has an event coming up, and you're on the host committee.
Yes.
And helping with that. So many happy hearts. And
Yes.
we're going to be one of the sponsors. But let's let's talk about the charities that you're involved with and you're giving back. So first off, Many Happy Hearts. It's their 20th anniversary.
Yes, amazing,
So
incredible work. Yeah.
September 18th. What else are you working on?
We're doing the Power of the Suit, which is the Demoya Foundation, which I just recently learned about, which is giving opportunities to adult children with disabilities. And it actually trains them and finds them work, which I think is amazing. I have two dear friends of mine who have adult children, and I've watched their obstacles, and to be able to get them to work and have a paycheck and provide value and feel like they're contributing to something. I'm really excited about that foundation as well. And Many Happy Hearts. I always say, too, it's important who's behind the foundations to me more than anything. And Janet is just, you and Janet have taught me so much this whole process with the foundations and event committees. But Many Happy Hearts, giving birthday parties to homeless children. And her and her husband funded a lot of it for most of the years, and I just think that's such an incredible. So
I'm on social media, and we were each other's fan club. And it was funny. Then finally at Chapman, when I was being honored, I'd take a walk in her shoes. I met her in person at the Saks shoe event.
Yes,
and we're like, we had just had this talking, via messaging and so forth, but. I am so grateful because she brought you into my life, and so many new people, like our whole committee this year. Most of them were really like new relationships, and I'm very grateful, to her for that, because she brought you into my life and so many of the other rock stars. So I know September 18th is going to be really special. We're going to do everything we can to support her, because
that.
These parties, every month for these kids to know that their birthdays are being celebrated.
It's unbelievable.
She's been, Many Happy Hearts supporting Chapman Partnership. So.
Absolutely, yeah. And I have to say, I learned so much. I was building my company and at the basketball court most of my business career. Just recently, when my baby left for college, which was a year ago, I joined a networking group, and I started going out and talking about my company. I had never done that before. So this was all new to me. Like even meeting you and being on the event committee for that, I had never been through that before. I'd never networked. I've never been out of my home office or office and even really talked about my company. So this is all very new. The interviews and the podcasts and the event committees and all the networking it's really, and I learned so much from you and from Janet in that space. But yeah, I'm completely grateful.
Yeah, I think we have a few minutes left, and I want to make sure that we get in your commercial, because if someone wants to work with you, how do they do that? How do they reach you?
Absolutely.
Your Instagram, take it away. And
awesome. So yes, Truth and Lies Investigations, our website is truthandliesinvestigations.com. So is our Instagram and our Facebook. I say we are a boutique firm with a global reach. So if you need an investigator, a process server anywhere in the world, female-owned and operated, and celebrating 20 years. Very excited about that. But call us. Don't wait. We're here to help.
And anything you want to share, either LinkedIn or...
Same thing, Truth and Lies Investigation. All things Truth and Lies Investigations, basically, is the best way to get us.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? I learned a lot about what you do and how you do it. And I would definitely, I don't know of any competition that you have.
I don't either.
I can't think of anyone else that you'd rather work with than this amazing...
That's awesome.
This is your angel. This is the woman that you want to hire to
The truth
do
fairy.
that. The truth fairy.
The truth
I
fairy.
love that.
The
And
truth
way
is
that
important.
the way that you go about it. And, thank you so much for everything that you do and for sharing your story, being part of Spotlight TV. I love having you on and love hearing the story. 20 years
Thank you,
is,
Emily.
I salute you and congratulate you, and can't wait to see what you do next. So thank you for being on Spotlight TV. We thank you for joining us, and we are just getting started with a whole new season, and we've been meeting with some really amazing CEOs and having them on Spotlight TV. A big shout out to our producers and, of course, the community newspapers. Michael and Grant, we love you.
They're rock stars. They are rock stars.
They are rock stars.
They really are.
When don't you run into
Oh
a
my
community
gosh.
newspaper?
They're so exciting to watch. Yeah.
They're exciting
They're
to
everywhere.
watch. And, print is in because, people like them and just are the home for so many of these wonderful shows. And big shout out. So have a wonderful day, and we'll see you